freebrooklyn.org.
Okay, we're on. It's happening now.
There it is. Some juice.
Okay,
some juice
yeah, you guys
in
need
the
some
mic.
juice. How's that? Is that better?
I got some juice.
All right.
Do you guys have enough juice in your mics?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Feels
See,
juicy
let's
to
see.
me.
Hold on. Let me see.
It's pretty
Can
juicy.
you hear yourselves? Okay.
I can hear myself.
And I can hear
Loud. If that's not loud
a
enough.
little bit. Yeah, there we go.
I can hear my better half.
Okay, there it is. All right. Ooh, I like that. Bedroom eyes.
Love
nice.
is in the air on
Love is in the
tonight's
air.
In the end.
Bedroom feet.
episode of No Suggestion.
Bedroom eyes. I
She's
think.
got bedroom eyes.
Nice. That's like a Hall & Oates kind of vibe.
It's that era.
Yeah.
Hungry eyes.
Hungry eyes. No.
Duran.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a
that's hungry like the wolf.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Hungry eyes.
Wow.
That's the Dirty Dancing right there.
Yeah.
Is that in Dirty Dancing?
It is
Oh,
in Dirty
sure.
Dancing.
And it is not
yeah.
Duran. Right?
This.
Hungry like the wolf.
I like that you just went for it, though. I like the confidence.
I have to be confident if I'm going to be doing improv at any given moment.
Oh,
Especially
ready.
at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
That's true. Yes,
11
it's late
p.m.
at night.
improv night.
Yeah.
Can I have just a little more?
Yeah,
a little
let's
more
see.
of a little more of myself.
Can I have
Oh.
fun with Aston?
Is this too loud all around? Or
I don't know.
I could take it all down with just a slight notch. Thanks for bearing with, listeners.
we do a rolling start. Okay,
In
how does it
Radio
feel
Land.
for everybody right now?
This is
I feel
better.
good.
Yeah,
I feel fantastic.
this is working.
Personally.
I spend a lot of time in my closet with headphones on.
Doing VO.
Yeah, by myself. And
Wow.
it's really nice.
Just sitting with headphones.
Listening.
Yeah.
Listen
To
to
Duran.
Duran.
The closet studio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the dark.
So this feels like a mansion. This feels like this luxurious.
Yeah, this would be a very crowded closet.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
cool in
Very
here.
thankful. We're in Radio Free Brooklyn Studios. Where's the sign?
Behind you.
It's,
No, but there's usually one there. What
There's one
happened?
behind you.
Oh.
Yeah, there's one behind me.
There's
man.
one out front.
There's one out front. We'll take a picture. Hey, this is No
Hey.
Suggestion, everybody. I'm Ralph Jean Pierre. You got co-host Aston
Hello.
Hollins is here tonight, and we have
Very special
guests.
The
I've been trying to
specialist.
hunt you guys down for like a year and a half.
Yeah,
You know
well,
this.
we were on an island first when you were hunting us.
We were.
so-
Really? Where?
No,
Were
no,
you?
you were hunting us on an island.
The
because-
most
Oh, yes.
dangerous
The most
game.
dangerous
With a harpoon.
Yeah, now we're here.
Yeah.
Well,
You finally caught us.
I got
Yeah.
you in my net. Thanks to Aston.
Yes, welcome Katie and Dave to the show.
Yes.
Some of my most favoritist, very specialist, most favoritist performers and also people, I think. Yeah.
Thank you so
In the-
much.
in the
I
world,
feel
in
the
life.
Same.
It's true.
I feel the same.
It's
We
true.
go
Very
back.
sweet.
I
We go
was
back so far.
We go back so far.
I was just talking to Dave about how about a year and a half ago, I saw you guys, your show, which was, what was the proper name of the show?
It's
David and Katie.
Get remarried, I
Oh,
believe
very
it
good.
was.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank
I was
you.
there as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Were you there at
I was
the
there.
night I was there?
I think so, yes.
Oh,
Saw you
wow.
in the
Okay.
audience.
Oh man, could you realize that I was melting? That I was
Oh,
in
No.
horrible pain?
Oh no, what happened?
I was very high on marijuana. And
Oh.
I had to leave like right after.
No, it's
Oh.
definitely a show that if you are like on the border of not like being content, it may tear you apart.
Yeah, which
What is going
it's
on
like
with you?
50% of our audience.
That was
usually.
my breakup happened like probably less than a month
I'm so
before.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was torn in
There should be
half.
a-
it's
emotional
true.
trigger
I
warning.
remember,
Emotionally.
yes.
And what made it even worse is before my breakup, we all lived in the same neighborhood.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So I was seeing you guys
Oh.
and knowing, I don't live there anymore.
Well, I would see you at the dog run.
at the dog park.
All the time.
All the time.
But
all
guess
the time.
what? Time marches on.
Time is
Ralph.
moving forward.
Time is healing those wounds.
Yeah.
You know,
That's in question.
I
No.
I
It's
really
true.
think as a
I am
friend,
more healed.
as an outside friend perspective, I think you've really
And
come,
if you
come
want
a long way. I'm
Really
if you
proud
want
of
to
you.
break that wound wide open, we're gonna start doing the show again.
Yes. Yes.
We
It's
are.
a beautiful show. It's so funny.
I loved the show.
It's
Thank you.
surreal. It's hilarious. It's personal.
It's musical.
It's
full of
risky.
songs.
It's risky. It's risque.
It's full of great song performing and songwriting.
Oh yes, so much wonderful music. Wow. I mean, I would like to start there. What? Because you're you're anticipated to run it again in the next few months.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start it up, doing it once a month. Hopefully for an open-ended run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, TBD, but you can go to our website, davidandkatiegetremarried.com.
What? Yes.
And there will be information soon.
Yeah, I
there.
think the website right now is from 2022.
I don't know if we told the listeners that Katie and Dave are actually married
Wow.
IRL.
Yes, it is.
We are.
IRL.
And
IRL.
the show is fictional. It is even though it is our same first names,
Yeah.
it is not about the same
But
Katie
the
and David.
marriage is real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the marriage is now real, but we actually wrote it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, we
Wow.
started it. We started writing it 10 years
And
ago.
we met
What?
like 3 months before we did it for the
yeah,
first
like
time.
we were not dating. We didn't really know each other very well. But my
What?
yeah, I know it's crazy.
That's a great way to
Yeah.
get to know someone.
Yeah,
No. I need this whole.
Yeah. Well, the
it's
name of
very weird.
the name of the
Hold on,
variety
y'all need to
show-
spill all the tea now. All of the tea. Come on now. Come in this beauty salon.
Well,
Y'all all come in and spill all this tea.
Oh my gosh!
I am so excited to get my hair cut.
You gonna get you a cut, and we gonna get the
A
tea
cut.
spilled.
I just want a little trim, please.
Okay.
Oh, just a trim.
Just the tiniest trim.
The trim is cheaper, but you do not get a discount on the amount of tea you have to spill.
Oh.
Everybody has to spill the same
Everyone
amount
has
of
to
tea.
spill the tea.
Okay, so start with you, Sandra. Sandra, what's your tea?
My tea is that
I'm prepping. I prep just like a surgeon.
The other day,
I wash my hands to the elbow.
And that's why I come here.
Just
It's the most germ-free salon.
Just the other day, you would not believe who I saw walking hand
Cleanliness
in
comes before
hand
godliness.
down the street.
Who?
Molly
My,
and that Jezebel Molly and and that Stanley.
no.
Molly
Yes.
and Stanley.
Molly and Stanley
Ooh.
holding hands.
I thought Stanley was shipped off to war.
As did I.
I thought he was off in those trenches. It seems like he's in a different sort of
But
trenches.
no, he lives. Ooh.
Ooh, spilling the tea.
I don't even, really need
I do
my
wrist stretches
haircut. I
also
just
before
wanna
we
talk.
begin. I do wrist stretches.
Stretch.
Well, you don't want to get a cramp in your wrist while you're
I
cutting
really
a trim.
get in there and I do a scalp massage as well.
It's true.
The
It's
only
nice.
reason I come here.
What?
Ding, ling, ling, ding, ling, ling, ling. Tea delivery.
Oh my!
Earl Grey. Come on.
I heard from a bird y'all was spilling a lot of tea
Yeah,
around
there's
here.
spilling tea in
And I thought you
here.
might be running out of tea.
Keith, you come in here. You're supposed to
Give
be
us your
delivering.
tea.
You're supposed to be
Keith.
delivering packages, all 6'2" of you. You're supposed to be
shoes are
delivering.
so
I can
wet.
watch Keith deliver a package all day.
Oh, stop it.
Oh
My-
my
If you keep delivering these packages, soon a stork is going to deliver something to me. Oh my
Oh
God.
my goodness!
all right, now you know I have a wife.
Ah. Well, she's not here right now.
I don't
now.
see
Yeah,
her. In
right
fact,
now.
I don't think she ever gets her hair cut.
You tell her-
that is some tea.
You tell her to come in and get a cut.
Yeah,
She
if she
has
cut
very-
her hair at home.
She doesn't cut her hair.
Oh.
She's like a horse
Oh my
with
word.
very, very long hair.
You married to some sort of Clydesdale of love or Rapunzel.
Well, they are the
kid.
most beautiful of horses.
That's true. But Keith, what is your tea?
That tea
Well-
smells divine.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
might be separating from my horsey haired wife.
Oh my word.
My
Keith.
Lord. Keith.
You're going to be a 6'2" divorcee?
Well, Keith, do you have your little old eye on anyone in town?
And if it's Molly, don't tell her.
Don't
Don't
tell us.
tell us.
Well, I
Tell us
don't
if
know.
it's
Which
Molly.
one of you won't push a refrigerator on me?
No promises. No promises. Oh God. Oh God.
Wow. That's so good. Or push a refrigerator on you. That's beautiful.
But
Okay.
actually, that is like sort of the relationship between the two characters in the show.
Sure.
Very
Sure.
volatile.
That's what keeps it spicy.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There have definitely been moments during the process where we were like, it's too aggressive. That's too mean. We
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
go
yeah.
that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. There've been many things that we almost put in or
Yeah.
wanted to like.
The
I
first,
still want like a Punch and Judy puppet. thing,
yeah,
but-
I want a lot of things. I want a lot of money to do a lot of things.
Right? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
But I want to know the history, because like, I feel like we got to get a whole, because I want to know where this came, because when I watched the show, I thought it was
Based on us?
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
biographical.
You're not alone.
I mean, I don't know you guys well, which is this is a theme on the show. It's a theme probably between us. Like, I have a lot of improvisers on that I've known for many years, and I know nothing about them, and they know nothing about me. This is a theme. This is a life theme for me, and so
it has to be like, for people who don't know, like, you know that I'm not an actual psychopath,
mhm.
and in the show the character is a psychopath, and you probably like, okay, well maybe this is like their story, and she's just like juicing it up. Like,
I thought it was dramatized.
No,
I never thought it was
no,
a work of fact.
But it was we first met on a character show
called Butsky and Glasscock.
Mm-hmm.
Great name.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Okay.
It was a Jen Dodd show.
Dodd, yep, and Jenna Darsky.
Yeah.
We both did characters. I sang a song, and she did
some character.
Lori Lotka.
And then we hung out. My friend was turning 30, and so I just invited everybody to come and hang out. And David came and hung out, and then we just like talked. And my comedy partner of many years had just moved to LA, so I was desperate to find somebody else to work with, because I was like, I can't do this alone.
Wow.
And so it was
destiny.
A
perhaps.
little bit. It's very weird. So but we just started like, we met at a bar and just like threw out some ideas. We just brainstormed some ideas for a show, and this is sort of the one that popped up. And we like set a date like 2 months from then, and like literally wrote a whole show from there. But I will say that we had a lot of the music, but we would improvise from point to point at the very beginning. Yeah, so it was like we were developing the characters and sort of like figuring out their relationship.
Yeah, we definitely did some like dramatic improv rehearsals. Like, in like studio space.
Yeah, like
maybe 6 weeks into knowing each other.
Yeah, like really didn't know each other.
Just letting loose.
What a way to get to know each other.
That's wild.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But like, I was like, well, the reason that it's our names is because the sketch group that I was in before was called Skinny Bitch Jesus Meeting, and my comedy partner,
I remember,
and like we would go to parties or whatever with comedians, and they would know us, but they don't know our names. So I was like, okay, whatever I do next, I'm gonna put my name in it.
Put your name on
and
it.
so I was like, so we're like, okay, we'll do David and Katie Get Remarried, never thinking that this would become a thing. That one, we would become a couple, and two, we would keep on developing the show like periodically over years and years.
Yeah.
This is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's kind of crazy. And we're going to actually release an album of our songs
Hey.
at some point soon.
Cool.
Yeah, they're all mastered, and we just have to, there's a few final steps to do, but we did all the hard
I can't wait
part.
for that.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I have to say, I really don't understand how you're so calm about this. This is cosmic.
Yeah, it's pretty major.
That's wild to me.
Well, it does bring us a lot of joy. It really does. Like every time we do it, we're like, God, it's so fun to do this show.
So fun to do the show. It's like when we were developing it, and like even when we do rewrites and like put it up, because every time it's like a little bit different, or like we add a new element. Like the last time we added Jody Shelton as our music director, and that really fucking
the greatest.
Love Jody.
Jody's wonderful.
It just kicked up like the music to another level. Like we got so tight. We got like, it was so much more fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that show is crazy too, because we were supposed to do it in May at a theater that had a budget, and they like gave us like half of our budget, and we spent it, and then the theater shut down, and we didn't get to do our show.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
What year was this?
this was in 22.
Okay.
And so then we found this free space through Shishama, which is like a nonprofit that gives artists, mostly visual artists, but they do all sorts of artists,
All
like
kinds of things,
commercial spaces that aren't being leased at the time. And so we had to put everything in the space. So it was like chairs,
It was great.
lights. I mean, but we got to put the space together. In September, we did the show, and in October, we got married for real. And it was the most stress I feel like I've ever felt.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was like everything was kind of a success in our eyes. So,
Oh, wait a minute. So you guys were not married
No.
why have I assumed you guys have been married?
because the show is called David and Katie Get Remarried.
But
Yeah.
I just assumed you guys were married for
everyone else too.
Wow.
Because we've been together for a long time by that point. But
Yeah.
Does it feel very satisfying to have a creative idea from years ago and then see it like become something years later, and like finish it and sort of rescue it from like the cutting room floor.
Yeah, it does. And it to me at this point, especially because it's like we're hitting the 10th year, it's just sort of these chapters. It's like fun it like weirdly marks time, not just in our lives, but like in the world too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, oh yeah, that was going on when we did that run. And, well, like we went to Colorado. It was our first time touring together. And we took the show to Colorado, and it was like right before the pandemic.
January 2020.
But we got to do this really fun traveling gig in Colorado Springs, and it was one of our favorite versions of the show.
Yeah, it was so weird. Nobody knew us.
Right, but they had a really cool and if you've ever worked in theater, listeners, they have these hydraulic lifts that some high school theaters have.
Yeah, called cherry pickers.
Yeah, cherry pickers or genies, and like, they can go. So the theater had one. And we were like, can we please use that at the end of our show for the finale?
So we built it into our show.
And it was behind a set
as a
piece.
Surprise.
So Katie like goes behind, and then it made this wonderful loud
wow.
And you hear that for like 15 seconds before you see her. You don't know what's going on. And then she appears on this thing.
Yeah, for like this big
her
finale.
big finale. And it's like, it's so good.
And it's like, that's what I want every time.
Yeah.
But
it was because the theater had it.
Yeah,
and they were like, yeah, you can use it.
And the ceilings were 40 foot, not 40.
They're like 30
feet.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was great.
That's really, I just think there's so much about this that's so incredible. And I one thing I'm also curious about is, because you're saying it's not autobiographical, which I totally believe, but there must be some part of you or your lives or the movement of your lives that is parallel moving through the show.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, at the time that we started writing it, I was like, well, I'm in my early 30s and I've had a bunch of relationships. And it's like, we had both played a lot of characters that were like not our age, like a lot of people in
like
New York.
Sketch comedy, like
sketch
old
comedy
women,
thing.
young boys.
Yeah.
That's my sweet spot.
And
that's
both
the
of
motto
those-
also
yeah.
of New York sketch comedy, old women, young boys. Yeah.
So
nothing in between.
Yeah. So I think we were just like, what if we just do something that's more like people our age with stuff that we've kind of like emotionally gone through in some way. And so we just sort of started brainstorming different themes and things that we were interested in.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like,
And then just
multiply
made it more
times
extreme.
10 or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's no like one relationship for me that like my character's struggles come from. It's more of like a bunch of different ones for Katie.
And it doesn't represent any relationship that I've been in.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, but yeah, just like I think my character kind of struggles with telling the truth and being honest. And I think when I was younger, I had a really hard time with that. And so I definitely was like eager to explore that.
You're being so diplomatic right now. I love it.
Well, that's the way to be.
I agree. No, I just love it. I think it's really
Did you guys
a sweet
know,
little dance.
Did you guys know that Katie and I have known each other for a very, very long time?
How long?
2005.
Wow. So that you
We
must
met
have.
in our performing identities
Did you guys go to college together?
At Sarah Lawrence
sure
College.
did.
Yeah, and everyone throughout, I think it was only one semester, but at the end of the class, everyone had to do like a 10-minute solo
piece.
performance. Yeah. Katie played the ukulele. It was very cool.
Yeah, the uke. Was not a good uke player, but
You don't need to be.
It does,
You're a
especially
good
for that.
songwriter.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That was it was great, and I remember pieces from yours. I
remember Max Steele's piece. Shout out to you, Max, if you're listening.
Michael Bradley Cohen. I remember his piece.
Oh man, he was in my first year studies.
What was the name of this class?
Performing identities.
Yeah, so we watched and read about stand-ups, but also
and performance artists
and different
and,
cultural.
Really? Oh.
The woman that pulled a scroll out of her vagina.
Oh yes, and
Wow.
the bearded lady.
How big?
Brooklyn.
Sorry, how big
Yeah.
a scroll? I
think it was pretty big. The pictures in our textbook, which I still have at my house, was a good textbook.
You also have this textbook.
Ammon.
We have 2 copies in our
Ammon.
house.
I'm so
Remove
sorry.
the scroll, Ammon. Remove the scroll. You are charged.
How much of the scroll do you want?
I want the entirety of the scroll to be removed.
scroll must be removed.
Listen to my protege. Remove the
Yes,
scroll,
you must
Ammon.
remove the scroll in order to proceed in Magician's College.
This is your duty. A
no,
magician, a sorcerer, an alchemist.
I'll remove the scroll. I feel fine about removing the scroll.
Enter the lair.
Ammon, you don't have to do it
Go
if you don't
into
want to
the
do
ark.
it. It's okay.
I want to be a
And
magician.
remove the scroll.
100% you must do this to advance to the next level of
Okay,
magician
well, we're just
school.
we're just gonna hike it up.
Wait, what?
Just gonna hike
Ammon,
up the
no.
skirt.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Where is the scroll?
Ammon.
Well, it's definitely under the skirt.
Whoa,
but-
whoa.
Ammon, no.
Are you trying to say the scroll is on your person?
Are
I
you
would say-
carrying the scroll?
Yes, I'm definitely carrying the scroll in a pouch.
Ammon.
What?
There is the
Sacred scroll may not be
handled.
Okay, can I
put
just-
on your person.
Put on
Let
your
me just-
person.
hold on, because I was, reading the scroll as I should be to study, and somebody came in and they scared me, and I was like, well, maybe no one else should see the scroll, and so I just hit it real quick, and then here we are. I forgot to put it back, but I'm gonna put it back now.
Ammon, I am aghast.
Yes,
and
I
my
too
protege,
am aghast.
Oh, well,
Hermes, is aghast.
you
We
guys
are
haven't
aghast.
you guys ever just been surprised and just made a choice, and
Who's
then you're
this?
like,
Your friend hiding in the under
Yes,
the bush.
who is
Oh.
this telling you not what you should not do?
He's been whispering
oh,
directives
well,
to you.
Dieter is just we're just friends.
Dieter.
Look, I at first I was like, Ammon, you don't have to do it, but I didn't realize you were halfway through like a mind-blowing, amazing trick. So honestly, I don't want to mess anything up for you.
Oh, to be honest, it's not really a trick. It's just sort of biology.
Oh, well,
Ammon, this is a scroll that
Yes, this is an academic institution of magic, Aemon.
a history of knowledge and
Yeah,
traditions.
trust me, I know. The scroll was very dusty. I'm itching.
it's just like Ammon was
The
telling me
sacred
about
scroll.
what happens here, and it sounded kind of abusive. So I snuck in here to
I did
just
not
witness.
use that word.
Yeah, she.
I said exuberance.
Hermes,
Okay, ready? Do you want the scroll?
Dieter.
I don't know if we want it now. I feel like
just turn your back to me.
if the sacred scroll has been,
Where will the scroll emerge from? Why must we turn our backs?
it's like a flag.
Oh.
After it's somewhere it shouldn't be. You must
Hermes,
burn
I'm
it.
afraid, Hermes.
No.
Ammon. Oh!
It's like a clown with many scarves.
Rip. Oh no.
Wow, that's got to be at least 37 feet long.
Wait, but there's probably. Let me just do a little shake.
Oh, my word.
And
Wow, that's now 37 in
I think that's it.
1 inch long.
Insane. Interior Scroll was the name of that performance piece. I still remember it being like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
I think it was also a poem written on it.
Why is this in my textbook?
But you know what's crazy? It's not crazy. It's just New York City. After that, I met a woman who essentially did that on stage at a comedy show.
What venue? Where was this?
It doesn't exist anymore. I forget where it was. It was in the East Village, but it was
Was she making fun of the performance artist?
yes and no. It was a little bit of both.
That's perfect.
And she the first time I saw her perform, she and her then comedy partner asked Leah, my comedy partner, and I to open for them, and they both at one point were fully naked. And I will say Leah and I had just gotten back from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. We had booked this show. And we were so jet lagged that we were watching it in a fever dream.
Wow.
And I will say some of it was very funny. It was a lot of nudity. And at one point, the guy was trying to put a condom on his flaccid dick, and it was actually very funny.
Oh man.
But I don't, and that was at the Tank. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
And not
right.
the Tank where it is now. The Tank where it was 15
old-
years ago.
ye
The old and the
olden
old.
Tank.
The ye old
It
tank.
had many locations
It
over the
did.
years, actually.
That's true.
Yeah.
My roommate. He's a guy named Jared Bates. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's a clown. Also done some improv stuff. He was running Annoyance a lot in the beginning of New York Annoyance, and he my voice is loud. He is a clown, and he's like a gigging clown. He does a lot of he does stuff with he just gets to work a lot, and he's really made me realize just how much of the New York like cabaret and clown scene is just a lot of nudity.
Yeah.
which I probably should have guessed because I also used to host karaoke at the Cobra Club, which shares a wall with House of Yes.
Oh, sure.
So I should have realized, but I didn't realize.
You can't hear nudity as well.
Shit.
You know?
Yeah, you could never see what was going. So you'd always kind of you just see some sort of acrobat and with pasties on, slinking outside, getting a burrito or something. But I never quite knew they're dressed like Harlequin and.
Excuse me. I think I will have. Let's see, a 3 carne asada tacos. You have guac?
Yeah, we've got guac.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I could see your boobs. Guac.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got.
I'm
guac.
new.
I can put guac in.
Oh, that's
your
okay.
taco.
You can look.
But I wasn't looking. I'm professional.
Oh, good.
Sammy, this is my first day. I'm not trying to cause no trouble.
It's okay. I just have some questions for everyone. Like, are you like? Do you realize that you're not wearing any clothing?
I have pasties on, and legally, I can't be arrested for showing my
It's
breasts.
just this.
I don't think she's doing nothing illegal.
It's just that Gil's Taqueria is like a family establishment, and I as the manager of said establishment, I just don't want anyone to like be uncomfortable if they.
I'm gonna keep my hands up because I feel safer this way.
Oh yeah,
I feel safer with my hands in the
I'll
air.
put my hands up too.
Oh,
Ooh, see how it lifts them?
Oh wow!
It lifts them up 2 inches.
So what did you want in your taco?
Some guac in my talk.
Okay.
You want green sauce or red sauce?
Both, please. Christmas.
Everything you saying feels suggestive, ma'am. I'm sorry. I don't.
It's not. I just like to come. What?
I don't listen. I'm not upset with you, and you have a right to be served.
A paying
tacos.
customer. Yes, you do have a right to be served these 2 tacos.
Okay, let me just pull my money out.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
That was
I'm
great.
so
We're cooking with
conservative
gas.
all of a sudden.
I also want to say I think you guys are the second improv couple I've had on. The first was Adrian and Hannah Marius and Adrian piano player. Adrian, what's his last
I don't
name?
think I know them.
You know Adrian?
Pellerin.
Pellerin, yeah, from Schitt's Probe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably know him. Anyway.
I'm very bad with faces and names.
But they're my first couple, but this is something I've always wanted. Married improv couple on the show.
And tonight you have it.
I have it.
The best.
I want
glory.
improv.
Specimen.
I still want improv siblings.
Yeah.
I want improv. I need to get, I don't know when it'll happen, but I need to get Raquel and Daryl Palmas on. I need the improv
you got to.
generational.
You got
Gotta
to.
get them.
I need that. There's something I always, relationships and family around improv is so
What about
fascinating
Jeff
to me.
Grimwood and his son?
Jeff has been a co-host on the show many times,
Great.
but he's never brought his son on.
Well, I'm sure his son has to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. But I would like that. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think there's some other ones. There's definitely some other improvisers with kids who also improvise that I want to have on. There's something about that is
Didn't
fascinating
Matt
to
Higgins
me.
say that he has
his
a
daughter,
that was
at least
performing?
one of his
Yeah.
kids improvise. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So but there's something about that. I don't really know.
Are you pressuring us to have kids right now?
Hey,
if you do, it'll be beautiful,
if you
and you're
want to
invited on the
on
show.
your own time. It's up to you.
On your own
It's
time.
a pressure-free zone.
Cannot
Yeah,
happen
no
in the Radio
suggestion.
Free Brooklyn studio, but if you want to do it, it'd be beautiful.
Okay.
But I feel like Married, I don't know why it's so fascinating to me, but I just think it's really cool, especially because I think it brought you guys together.
Yeah.
like writing and performing, and I mean, the first time I saw David was at a callback for a Pit House team.
Wow.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like 3 people who stood out, and he was one of them.
Okay. I feel like I want to get this. I just want the story. I want the story. We already got the meeting. I want to know how did we get together?
Well, it was like,
How did togetherness?
well,
happen?
I had a boyfriend when we first met, so it was very off the table, of course. Like, and I was also just truly looking for a comedy partner or like somebody to create something new with in the next, whatever the next like iteration of my work was going to be. And I knew I wanted there to be music, and I knew I wanted there to be like some sort of acting, like a deep acting element, because I love sketch acting. And I was like, oh, but what if we tried doing comedy with like a little bit more of a, real person vibe, as sort of like David said.
And this is around 2013?
2014. Yeah.
2014.
And so we met, we wrote the show, we did it for the first time. It was super fun. It was insane.
Yeah.
We did it in the basement of the pit. It was like an 11 o'clock show. We have like a surprise element in the show. I guess I can just say it. We have like a plant in the show who objects in the middle of the show, or like near the end. And then we had like my friend do it. And then there was also a drunk lady who did not know us, who thought everything that was happening was real.
Wow.
And so she also was sort of
really
like,
objected.
she was like really like throwing out her opinions.
Wow.
And
She was confused about what we were doing.
yes, she
I
was
think
wasted.
I think she thought we were making fun of something that we were not.
No.
And
then we like,
How did you get like?
a very competent
the
house
situation.
manager named BJ Thorne
Oh man,
politely-
BJ! Shout out to
politely
you,
ushered
BJ.
her
I'm
out.
trying to also, he won't do it. I'm trying to get him on. Anyway.
Well, shout out to him. He really did his job that
yeah,
night.
and it
Love
was
BJ.
fine.
He was great at that job.
He's great at that job.
Well, he
Great
cut
at
his
that
teeth
job.
at Stand Up New York in the late aughts.
If you're gonna throw out anyone, there's the place to do it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said the funniest thing to me. I was an intern at the pit in like 2011, and he was the house manager at the time. And there was this one time, it was like a Tuesday night at the pit in 2011, and it was like, I don't know, like midnight, 11 p.m. or midnight, and it was just packed on a Tuesday night. Like packed, upstairs was packed, downstairs was packed. It was like the club. It had this strange like club energy.
Yeah.
And me and I think Peter Velez were like the two interns on that night, and BJ was just like, what's happening right now?
He was like Tuesdays are supposed to be chill.
He was like,
Yeah.
what's happening right now? Like, are we all gonna do cocaine?
with a glint in his eye.
Yes. I feel like that. I feel like so many people. I feel like 2013, 14. That's an era. That was like. I feel like that was like a peak
It
era.
was an era,
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of people came in around that time. I feel
yeah.
like.
Yeah, and like I had been doing sketch at the pit for I think 5 years or more.
Yeah.
By that more than that by that point. But like I had not, and I got free. I submitted for and got a scholarship to take improv classes.
Wow.
And so then I got on a team. But I had not been in the improv community at all, and truly not as much. Like I was never really on an indie. Well, I guess a little bit on an indie team, but I didn't like do a ton of indie shows, or anything. I just like came on the Wednesday night, did my show, did my rehearsals, had like a great time, loved it. But it was when I entered the improv world there, it was like everything expanded exponentially with like people and I mean some opportunities too, but mostly just like having to learn more white men's names.
Oh, God.
And every
Gotta have
time,
a list.
every Wednesday night after a show, I'd like stand next to one of my teammates and be like, and somebody would talk to us and then they'd leave and I'd be like, have I met that person before? And they'd be like, yes. And I'd be like, what is their name? And they're like, Brad. It's like, great.
Yeah.
You've met Brad Stewart 17 times.
Brad Stewart, I remember. He's
Shout out to you, Brad Stewart.
Shout out.
We love you, Brad.
Yeah, I always feel like this is also another thing. I feel like I've never had a group of people to be able to talk about, even especially that era, but ongoing. Oh, I have a follow-up question. But like, I've always, part of the reason for me to start this podcast is particularly being I'm a pit baby. I don't know if you guys would call yourself like, that's my home theater, whether I like it or not. And sometimes I don't like it. A lot of times I don't, but that's, you know what I mean? That's what I'm from.
Sure.
My base in the New York theater and comedy scene is from the pit. And there's like, I think there's something about being like from that world that the UCB people and the Magna people, I think other people don't get it.
It was a weird scene.
It was
It was a weird scene.
Yeah, it was a really like it was a big spectrum of people too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And it was a lot of people.
A lot, yeah,
And
because
it was a
everybody
lot
passed
of
through also.
Drinking.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, it was a lot of
It was
drinking.
a lot
Drinking.
of drinking.
Yeah,
For better or for worse.
Yeah. For me, a lot of it was how much community there could be, the jam culture, the free show culture. But yeah, there's something about it. Oh, I'd tell the story. I wonder if you can relate to this, because I don't know other places you guys are playing or performing and doing stuff, but a couple years ago, like a while ago, it was right when the Magnet opened their training center, and I rode my bike. I had a friend, and I was in an indie team, and I had a friend who was taking a musical improv class at Magnet. I rode my bike to the show, and I'm all sweaty, and I get there right on time. I have like 10 minutes, but I showed up to the Magnet. And so I had to like get on and ride and go to the training center.
Yeah.
So I get to K-Town. The street is busy, and I'm like, fuck, the show's starting. And it's like, if I don't get up there, my friend's team might have already performed by the time I get up there. You know what I mean?
The show was in the training center?
It was in the training center. It was like one of the first things that ever happened in there.
Oh, wow.
And so I just take my bike up into the space, because I think I'd been there one other time. I take my bike up into the space. I get there. There's something happening in the office, and then there's no one else. It's just, I can hear the show happening down, and then there's no one else in the space. Nothing. And I go to the office, and I'm like, hey, I can't find a place to lock my bike out. There's pandemonium outside on the K-Town street. I can't find a place to lock my bike. Can I just lean it on a wall somewhere, put it in a hallway somewhere? And they're like, yeah, I'm sorry. Could you just lock? I'm like, my friend, their show started already. I'm like 5 minutes late. I went to the wrong place. Could you just lock it up downstairs?
Oh, no.
And so I went downstairs. I searched for like 7 minutes. And by the time I came back up, my friend's set was done. I missed the whole thing.
You tried. That's what matters in the friendship.
I tried really hard. I was very sweaty. This is my point of telling that whole story. I feel like if I would have just walked into the pit, I would have been like, can I lock? They would have been like, lay it on the ground, lay it in the middle of the bar.
Yeah.
We don't, you know what I mean? That is.
And the owner would have picked it up and been like, oh, a free bike.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just like put this downstairs and anybody can just write it.
And then paint it red and put it on the wall. Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
just put it on top of my
I'll
four
put it
free
on top
couches.
of the bar. It'll be part of the decor.
It'll be part of the bar.
Can
now.
we paint my face on it?
But yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
But that to me feels like the vibe of that place.
I think there was a bizarre amount of like yes energy.
Yeah.
And there still is at the pit.
Yeah.
But I feel like the cold like ghost of like the New York like can pop up anywhere. And I remember doing a bringer show at Comics 15, 16 years ago. Run by a nice person. You know what I mean? Like not a predatory bringer situation at all. But I had 3 people instead of 5. And those 3 people came, and I didn't have the ability to text them at that point. Like I didn't really have a phone that like did good texting to tell them I wasn't going to be able to go on because I didn't have 2 more people. And they were just like, I'm sorry. Yeah, those are the rules. And I, to this day, I would never hold it against them. I won't say their name, but it was just like, that was just like New York kind of kicking me in the face a little bit. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of what happened to you with that bike. It's like, it just happens sometimes.
Yeah. The flip side of that is,
especially when you're younger or new, like it's just like really.
And you're also, all you have is like kind of shittier opportunities. That's all that's really available to you. So that's what's coming.
Yeah. But my friends were madder than I was though. They were like,
of course, they had to watch all the shitty comics.
And they're nice people, but they were pissed. And I was like, whatever, it's fine.
Man, one of the first big shows that I thought we were doing, I was in before Skinny Bitch Jesus meeting, I was in a sketch group called The Impending Mustache, which was a lot of Sarah Lawrence.
I went to some of those shows.
A lot of Sarah Lawrence kids, a few other people.
I think like we went on a SLC Lampoon field trip to go see your show.
And maybe it was the show because we did a huge ass bringer show at Caroline's and we had to get like 200 people or something. And because it was us and I think there was Murder Fist and there was the 2 groups and we like all just like put all of our resources into putting up a show there. Big show. We thought it was a huge opportunity. We were that green but we were like, we had been doing sketch for at least a year or whatever. And of course that room is 1, terrible for sketch, and 2, we made all of our friends pay so much money to like, because there's like a drink and a food item minimum. And like, I mean, it in the time, it felt like a triumph. You know what I mean? At the time we did it. Like at the time we really like fucking did it. But then I think a month afterwards, I think we were all just like, wait, were we just scammed?
It happens. It's happened to all of us, I'm sure. Yeah.
One of my first gigs in New York performing, It was hellish. I was doing short form improv in Times Square.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember the name of it was like 8 is Enough or something. Improv.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard of that group.
And
That and like Red Tie Mafia.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was really hellish. But the people I was working with, it's where I met Julia Morales. And I don't know if you guys know this. She's the greatest.
The best.
Shout out Julia Morales. And this is like 2007 or 8. And I met now you guys may know him, the now infamous Tyler Fisher. You guys know him?
Oh yeah.
He's
I only know him as a stand-up and
kind of like an alt-right stand-up. Yeah, and he's but he back then he wasn't, and somebody I still know. I like him, but he's over on that side now. But that was like all of our first gigs in New York.
Yeah,
and it is so interesting. I feel like we're all also have had this on the other side of this, like first coming into New York, like just green and just getting your face kicked in, getting that New York no, which I love that term.
Yeah,
and I was talking today to someone about how. Maybe it was today or a couple of days ago, how, you come into this, when you come into the city, the first times you come into the city, first year or 5 years, the city is just so big, and you just are like, will I ever matter here? Yeah. Will I ever matter here? And now, now it's a world where like, oh, my friend was just on TV. Oh, I get to work with this person.
Oh, I have like a radio show. I get to like do whatever I want.
Yeah, and invite people that I love, have always wanted to play with, or people I haven't played with in a long time. Yeah, and that it's like that experience is so. I don't know how to describe. It's like it's an odyssey.
It is. And to me, it's also like you have all these highs, and there's some of them that are obvious, and you have those, and then for me a lot of the time after I have something that like, oh yeah, on paper of course I'm happy about it, and I am, and then afterwards I'm like, oh my God, I had so many other highs that are not obvious. And then it becomes a game of like, all right, how can I like acknowledge these really great things that are happening that are just beautiful moments with people, not even performing, you know what I mean? Just like a real moment you have with someone during the day or, just even like in a crappy show, like one good moment, whatever. Yeah. Like those things are just as great, but I think sometimes it takes like having a few, like one or two of those things that you've dreamt about a long time, have it, experience it, and then it's like, oh man, there's a bunch of other good stuff too. And if all I'm doing is like living for those couple things, fuck,
Clarence, this is your time. This is your time, Clarence.
I know, man.
I think you really made it this time.
Oh God. But what if this is it though? What if this is it?
This is it, like the end of your poverty, man, the end of your struggling. Jimmy Fallon's going to call your name in just a few moments, and you're going to go out and you're going to do magic.
I know. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do magic for millions of people.
Clarence Sanderson, you're on deck. Clarence Sanderson, magician, you are on deck.
Hold on a minute. What's your name?
I'm just a voice on the speaker.
What's her name on the speaker? There's something about her voice.
Her name is Sally. Sally, you're not supposed to have
Please don't give out my personal information.
Conversations on your
I was trying to be professional with the magician.
Clarence, these are the little people. Get to know them.
No. Yeah. I hold on. Can I go on later? Can like Matt Damon go on or something?
Sally, are you bringing Clarence to the stage? He's not here
Clarence,
yet.
you are on deck. Please, Clarence. Please, if you value my job as much as I do.
Yes, Sally, if he doesn't show up in 1
Mr. Fallon, I am so sorry. One moment, please.
Oh, I don't want to get Sally fired.
You got to go out there, Clarence.
All right.
This is your moment.
Sally, just promise me we can talk after the show. I don't even mean it in like
Do you know how many magicians want to talk to me because they're looking for a special New York City moment to just be present and remind them what life is really
Sally,
like.
bring him to
oh
the
my
stage.
gosh, Clarence.
Sally, this is Clarence
This is
Sanderson, magician.
I know it's good. She doesn't know who I am, or maybe she does. She doesn't care.
What?
This is what I need. I need people to be real with me.
All right, it's me and Jimmy Fallon, and I'm just going to keep talking because this is my show, and I don't know where our magician
Mr. Sanderson,
is.
please get out there.
Get used to the taste of this right now, Clarence. This is what
I
this
was
is what
really
life is
looking
going to be
forward
like.
to seeing a magic show by Clarence Sanderson, but I don't know where he is. He's supposedly here somewhere.
Here, take your balls, take your juggling scarves, and take your monkeys and get out there.
Oh,
All right,
I'm supposed to vamp. You want me to vamp?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Clarence is here. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Clarence
So,
Sanderson.
everyone, I was going to make the Empire State Building disappear tonight.
Pull the scroll out.
That is something I've always wanted to
But
see.
instead, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make someone invisible become visible. And her name is Sally.
What is happening?
What's going on,
Yeah,
Clarence?
yeah, Jimmy, I'm going to make Sally appear, who is heretofore been invisible. And she will appear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh, I am in front of a live studio audience.
Sally, get backstage.
Yes, Mr. Fallon.
Jimmy, no, Jimmy.
Mr. Fallon.
Sally works her tail off on this show, and I don't think she is compensated or acknowledged in the way that she should be.
I don't think this is going to make the edit.
Edit?
Certainly not.
There's no edit in magic.
Pull out the scroll. Scene.
Wait, what were you saying about the squirrel?
the scroll. Pull out the scroll.
I thought you said squirrel earlier, and I was like, where is
Just
there?
as good.
Where is there a squirrel?
Be just as right.
Yeah,
I like the name Clarence.
Yeah.
I like that you chose
it's a
that.
solid
name.
name.
It's a great name.
Felt it somehow. Something about it felt right.
Yeah.
How much improv are you guys getting to do these days? Where are you at? What's going on? What's happening with
I
you
believe
guys?
they're both doing a lot of characters for the upcoming new and improved UCB.
Ooh.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
it opens.
To be honest, I haven't been performing live very much, which is something that I think I've really, really missed in my
Mhm.
soul. So we both auditioned last summer and got on character teams, and now we're rehearsing.
Amazing.
So whenever that opens, we'll start doing that. But I also really miss doing improv, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live in the same neighborhood as like a couple people from my old improv team, and I'm always just like, we should just put up a dumb show in the back of a bar.
You should. And you got Young Ethel's right there.
Yeah, Young
That's fair.
Ethel's
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
That's
I
true.
like that place.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Young
So
Ethel's is
great.
great.
Shout
but you know
out
what?
to
I was
Young
doing.
Ethels.
I was doing some improv every so often, literally like once every couple months with Remarried, Chris Manley, and Joe Schiappa. We were doing.
You guys were doing the show. Is that still happening?
Well, we do it every so often. It's sort of like we did one at BCC, we did one at Young Ethel's, we did one somewhere else, and we just sort of, if someone books one and we're all available, we just like go do it. It's very silly, very casual.
You gotta invite us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
will.
tried to come to one of the last ones.
Yeah, I think the last one we did at Young Ethel's, and we had a couple people.
I think I told you to lock your bike outside.
Oh my god.
You missed it.
It wasn't me though. The ghost of the New York No got inside my body. It wasn't
I love
me.
that term. At what point I always wondered, do you evade as you get more savvy? Do you evade the New York No, or do you just become more used to it?
I at this point
Yeah.
in my life and creative goings on, I think I'm just becoming more used to it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
numb to the
just
New
kind
York
of the
No.
zen of like,
It's part of the deal. It's
you
there.
know,
Yeah, I
it's
sort of take it and I sew it as a patch on my jean jacket.
the rejection.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, like next.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Some of my family members are sometimes shocked by how like comfortable I am with rejection, and I'm like, I'm an actor, you guys. I've been told no thousands of times. I've been told I've like here's my best work, and then thousands of
Yeah.
times people have been like, nah. And I get used to it. I've gotten used to it, and it's weird. It doesn't-
Must be nice.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm impervious. I still
Yeah,
feel
same,
something,
same.
but it's like I don't know. It just kind of like
That's just the deal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just sort of the deal. And
how it goes.
in my mind, I still feel like a sensitive little baby. But then I hear someone else who doesn't face rejection that much talk about it. I'm like, oh well, maybe I'm okay.
yeah,
Maybe I'm actually more resilient than I thought I was.
those people also have like savings,
Yeah.
savings accounts.
Well, I have some now because I got hit by a Revel scooter.
I know.
Oh
What?
my God! Yes,
You what?
yes.
Yeah, I got hit by a Revel scooter.
This was
Were
like a
you
couple months ordeal of
very
healing and stuff. Could you
injured?
tell?
Yeah, this was almost a year ago.
So I had
You were walking.
I was riding a bike.
Oh, man.
And I got hit by a guy on a Revel scooter, and so I fractured my right clavicle, 6 of my ribs, and one of them punctured a hole in my lung.
Jesus.
And that is called a pneumothorax, which is not a Dr. Seuss character, but a hole in your lung. And mine was small enough that I could walk around
Oh, Dave.
for 2 weeks until they checked it out. I was like, okay, it healed itself.
Okay.
So our bodies are amazing.
yeah.
If it's bigger, they have to do surgery. But mine was that special size where
Very, very lucky.
It's like-
Always wear a helmet, folks.
I mean, it was painful. I was on incredible like pain meds for like 6 weeks because that stuff just has to heal. Like all of it. Like there's no cast for it.
Yeah, and weirdly enough, we have like a bed. We got a free bed that like the frame is like basically a hospital bed, so it can like go
Sexy.
Yeah.
up. Thank
Oh,
you
yeah.
so much.
Oh, yeah.
Unrelated to this accident?
Yeah. So we had
Wow.
just like we'd gotten that for free.
Actually,
and so like,
the great Kevin Labson
the
gave
great
us
Kevin
that bed.
Labson, we got that from
Yeah.
him.
Oh, that's
for
another boy I
free.
need on this show.
Yeah.
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 Shout out to you, Kev.
So, no.
And it was horrible.
But the not horrible part was that I mean every day tons of people are injured or killed and there's no one to sue.
And you could sue Revel.
Or there is, and you feel like I don't want to sue that person, but this is a company that was really they had already been sued
Yeah.
hundreds of times,
And they should expect it, honestly.
And now-
yeah, no, that's built into their business plan.
not because of me alone, but like definitely partially my lawyer who sued them over 80 times in 5 years.
Wow.
There's
Nice.
that
Waiting on
they
that.
That's
don't
not like how she got into it. That was just like
they don't well they're
extra.
they're bike lawyers. They help Rich Holman actually referred me to her.
Oh, shout
Another
out
wonderful
Rich Holman.
improviser, but yeah, like so if it didn't feel bad to sue them because it's like this business model is
no,
awful.
they shouldn't. That
Like,
person shouldn't have been writing.
These things
that
are all
thing.
over the place. People are getting on them drunk. They're getting on them high. They're way too easy to get, and so now they're gone. The mopeds in Brooklyn are gone. They're only cars.
Don't be mad. I'm just suing you. Don't be mad.
I am furious.
Sorry, if you'd like to
Come
speak
on.
to my client, you have to address him with his proper
I'm
name.
furious.
See, well, if you're going to address my client, then also address him with his proper name.
Can't we just work it out on our own, just between us?
I
Mr.
just
Andrew
really
Lloyd
need-
Webber, you
Do we
need
really
to-
need this legal?
I mean, you don't need to, but I have to advise both of you not to do that.
My lawyer says I can get money from you.
Yeah.
And I would like to remind everybody in the room that you don't have to pay us until the end if you win.
Oh, please don't tell my client that.
I'm right here.
I just feel like you've been really you've been a dick to me lately, and like we can't hang out. Like why?
Okay, so you're suing me for emotional distress?
You know what?
Like, what are you, 12?
I would
all
say,
right, so we're-
as my client, I would say just give him like $5.
Well, I'm already noting more emotional distress for that abuse that she just hurled at him.
Oh yeah, well I'm gonna put some, spill this water all over
This
you.
is
Oh yeah,
no-
well I'm
It
gonna
boggles
erase your
the
face
mind.
with my
Can't-
eraser.
This is it boggles the mind.
It's just an innovation when this is the 8th and 9th grade intermediate school between middle school and high school, and they've added lawyers. We can elect student lawyers.
Yeah, all that chore money that you got for raking up the leaves at your house, fork it over.
We gotta mediate.
I worked hard for that money.
Well, I worked hard for our relationship, and it soured, and you
It
were
was
mean to
just
me.
a misunderstanding. Like we're still friends. We can work it.
Yeah, we're
out.
friends that kissed, and then you kissed somebody else at the
Oh,
dance.
okay.
Okay, listen.
So I'm suing you.
Okay, let me explain that. It's hard for me to tell really if I really
Anything
like
you say
someone
will be used
unless
against you.
I kiss them. I have to kiss them first. So I'm going around this high school
All right.
kissing everyone.
I just need a conference with my
That hurts.
client just
That
for a
hurts
minute.
lot.
She's making really good points right now. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if we're gonna win this.
You're a student lawyer. Why don't you should have some sort of
Okay, I'm
brief.
just
Where are
gonna
your
conference.
briefs?
It
I'm gonna
was just
conference with my
one
client really
kiss.
quick.
What's the big deal?
Excuse me. I think that
I'm listening.
Yeah. So I think that just for payment for me, It could be a kiss.
Oh.
Well, you're gonna kiss your lawyer?
I can do that. See.
Good. Okay, let me read this real fast.
Read
Hey,
it fast.
March 11th, the 5th annual New Colossus Festival, March 6th through 10th. Oh, no, I'm not supposed to read that first part.
Hey.
March 6th through 10th, Lower East Side.
That's happening right now.
Oh, shit. Yeah. So that's
Go
happening
to
right now.
that thing.
Go to the New Colossus Festival. Go schedules and badges and everything can be found at www. New Colossus Festival is a music conference and networking and stuff happening at Arlene's Grocery.
That sounds fun.
You're
That
listening.
sounds fun.
You're listening to Radio Free Brooklyn, independent listener supported radio. Thanks for listening. Your support keeps us going. Hey, you read some of that.
Oh yeah,
Read
get
the
that
second
professional
paragraph.
voiceover
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
RFB Donations Radio Free Brooklyn mission is to provide a free and open platform to our community and promote media literacy, education, free expression, and public art. We rely primarily. We rely primarily on donations from listeners like you.
Cha-ching.
You. Every dollar helps us stay on the air and allows us to continue our work in the community. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so all our contributions are tax deductible. Please support with a monthly pledge or one-time donation at radiofreebrooklyn.org/donate.
Yeah. You read one of those.
Sunday.
Read the third one.
Monster truck.
RFB mobile app. If you'd like to listen to RFB when you're not in front of your computer, please download our free mobile app from for iPhone and Android, available at the App Store for iPhone or the Google Play Store for Android.
iPhone.
RFB newsletter, verbatim read. Please be sure to subscribe to our monthly newsletter for the latest news about new programming and upcoming RFB events. You can sign up at radiofreebrooklyn.org/newsletter. Hooray!
Okay.
Dave, that was so smooth.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you very
did
much.
it. That sounded great.
I did my dad's. I did the audiobook for my dad's novel that he wrote called Assassin's Manuscript.
That's awesome.
And it's my first one ever, and it's by far like the marathon of marathons for just using your mouth, and it just makes everything else easier
For your dad.
for me. Yeah, for my dad.
Congrats to your dad for writing.
It's kind of
novel.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's kind of. He started writing it when I was a little teenage boy, and
it came to fruition all
Yeah.
these years later.
Yeah.
The project is completed.
it is pretty cool.
I feel like you guys are gonna feel me when I say this. I feel this a lot. I haven't felt it so much in the last year and a half of my life. I felt it, but I haven't been able to embrace it. What you guys are making me remember, even the story you're telling about your dad in his book right now, is especially like this life we're living of like making art and being actors and creatives and comedians. Before a year and a half ago, I feel like I'd never really been really hurt before. And it made me realize I live a charmed life.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, Rob.
Yeah. I lived a charmed life, but I
Must be
feel
nice.
like I feel like this, like, even though it comes with bumps and bruises and hurts, like this is a sweet
Yeah.
part of life.
What
You
a
know what I
wonderful
mean?
moment we're sharing.
Yeah.
Well, we only have a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
So, Katie and Dave, tell us where can we find you on
Yes.
the internet? What are you doing?
Yeah, I would say look at David and Katie get remarried.com. And there will be information there soon about our show.
Yeah, we also have an Instagram thing. Also,
Yeah, where can we find you on the Instagram?
I am at kheartsucks, SUCKS,
Mhm.
And I'm at David Carl Actor.
Fantastic.
SUCKS.
Yeah.
Where can we find you, Ralph?
We can find me at preciousgorgeous.com. You can find this podcast, my music. How about you, Aston?
Yeah, I'm Aston Hollins, and you can find me on Instagram at AstonHollins.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you guys
Yeah,
can do
thank
the
you
show.
so much,
Thank you
Katie
so
and
much
Dave.
for having
it was
us.
a real pleasure. Yeah.
What a
This has
party.
been wonderful. And this has been No Suggestion, everybody. Co-host Aston Hollins, David, Katie, Ralph. Pull out the scroll!
Good night. Good night, Brooklyn.
New York.